Hi guys, welcome back to Orange County National, out here on the range. Wanted to share with you something that I focused on with a player online the other day. Online's great. I was actually using Sportsbox AI to do the lesson, which I do with all my online lessons, which is, it gives you a little more insight, can give the player a bit more a quantitative number that they're looking to achieve, and then sort of put a feel to that, which is, I love to do that for players, something that they're trying to achieve in their game. So for this player, it can happen to some, as they're transitioning, their upper body was going forward past their lower body to a point where they are having a tough time. So if you have a tendency of coming over the top, okay? So if I'm over the top, usually what I'd see is the rotation of the chest might be out rotating the lower body, okay? For this player, they're actually coming too far from the inside, so they were moving their chest forward, so much so that it was out racing their hips, making their attack angle very down and inside. So if I sort of demo that, I'm exaggerating, but this way, right? So it's super down. That might not be that inside, but definitely down. So that was 11 down attack and 6 from the inside. So that's a good exaggeration of what was happening. So for this player, what we talked about was in transition, using the head as the cue. So I can get sequencing. So if I get my lower body to start to go, you're going to see everything sort of move a little bit to the target. But then from there, I want that lead hip to start to stabilize, start to push back off my lead side. That's going to keep my head behind the ball a little bit with the irons. We don't want to get too far forward. That's going to usually make the path get too much from the inside for most players, unless I do, again, if I go forward and rotate a lot, it might get outside. So that, again, specific for you, make sure you're aware of where the club is coming from in the downswing. So for this player, we got up to the top. They were shifting with the lower body, not very much, upper body a lot. So we wanted to sequence it. Lower body starts, and then they're pushing off the lower body, keeping their upper body behind the ball. What that's going to do is it's going to change where the club is swinging, right? If I keep moving this way, you can see how that's delaying the club motion. It started to get more this way. If I start to push and my head stays back, you can see as the club swings, it's going to want to swing more around me. It would be a lot of work to go back and then try to swing this way. It's not really how the club wants to go. It definitely wants to swing more around my body with this. So for this player, we got them sequencing better, pushing off, keeping their head back. And then the second part was getting used to, instead of moving this way, trying to feel like the hands were staying a little wider. And again, that's going to widen the circle, take out some of that attack angle, and make it a little easier to neutralize that path. So that'll be an interesting one. It looked pretty neutral. So that was 1 from the inside, 5 down attack, 5.8 down attack. So again, shifted things the right direction, used those cues. I'm looking at it from, okay, how much attack, how much path? There's thousands of ways to change those parameters. What's going to be the most efficient for the player? What's going to be the most natural? And then the safest for them to move in their swing. So those are sort of the checkpoints that I'm looking at, talking to the player, making sure that they're clear on what they're trying to do. Again, what I see and what they feel might be totally different, but using a little bit of the quantitative feedback. I've been using Sportsbox a little bit, and it's starting to get a lot better. I think the data is getting a lot better. Obviously in person, I'm lucky I use Bull 3Ds, so it gets you all wired up, and then we can use it that way too. So looking specifically at the body motion, making it as simple as we can for you. Use those keys if you tend to hit down on it a bit too much and get the club a little bit too much trapped behind you.